How's it going, boys and girls? If you are watching this right now, then you are watching this sometime in the year of 2016 or later, which means we are in the future. We are actually in the future. The future that everyone dreamed about, everyone was waiting to happen, is here. This is it. So it feels kind of like anticlimactic. Well, it is what you make it. To me, this is like such an epic time to be alive. For some people, this is such an amazing time to be alive. And of course, for others, well, the times are tough, the times suck. This is not the future people hope for, whatever, all this garbly goop. But how you view something is typically how you view everything. So if you are an optimist about the future, then typically you're gonna be an optimist about your child, or typically you're gonna be an optimist about your own success, or typically you're gonna be an optimist about your company, or whatever. So, and if you're a pessimist, or a skeptic, then typically you're gonna be very skeptical about everything. You're gonna be very pessimistic about everything. So how you do anything is how you do everything as well. You know, if you keep your room really clean and tidy, you're typically gonna keep your computer really clean and tidy. You're typically gonna keep your driveway really clean and tidy. You're typically gonna keep everything you own really clean and tidy. And reverse is true, the opposite is true. If you keep everything, if you keep something messy, typically you're gonna keep everything messy. So how you do anything is how you do everything. How you view anything is how you view everything. Keep that in mind, and just know that there are always two sides to the coin in life, guys. There are always two sides to the coin. You've been gifted with perspective. You've been gifted with the ability to see things as either a negative or a positive. All things, at the heart of an atom, all things are made of atoms. And at the heart of an atom is the neutron. And neutrons carry no charge. A neutron is neither positive or negative. A neutron neither emits a negative or a positive charge. But around the neutron are spinning electrons, which are negative charges, and spinning protons, which are positive charges. So everything that we see, including this door, including this camera, including my skin, including this watch, everything is made up of atoms. Everything is made up of atoms. And what are atoms? Well, atoms is three main parts, really, isn't there? There's the nucleus, there's the electron and the proton. And at the heart of the atom, the heart of everything, is the neutron. It's neutral. So you either decide to see it as the negative or the positive. It's very cool, and that allows us to experience contrast. People say, well, Ted, wouldn't it be nicer if everything was just positive all the time, if we just always saw things as positive? Why is the ability to see things as negative a blessing? Why is that a gift? How is perspective a gift? Wouldn't it be better if we just saw things as awesome and beautiful all the time? Well, you can see things as awesome and beautiful all the time. Like I said, you have the ability. But the ability to see things negatively sometimes allows you to experience the contrast of life. And contrast in life is what makes things so awesome, man. It really allows you to experience the ups. And it allows you to realize that the downs, downs are just perspective, and it's a matter of, as quickly as you change your perspective, as quickly as you're gonna reach that up again. So I've been eating some mangoes here the past few days, and some of them are not ripe, some of them are ripe. So of course, with the unripe ones, I let them ripen up, and they're typically delicious. If I was to eat this unripe one right now, it wouldn't be very delicious. So sometimes when I let them ripen up though, they're not delicious. They're disgusting. They're like full of worms or something. I have to spit them out. It's nasty, disgusting garbage. So I don't get upset and cry and call home about it and say, oh, Mom, Dad, the mango sucks. I go write a front page headline news about it. The mangoes in Phuket suck. I would never write that, because 2 seconds later I just grab another mango, eat it. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just get so overwhelmed, and I focus so much on the positive. I focus so much on how good the mango is. I focus on how amazing that was. So when you do anything, when you have a relationship, or when you're in an experience entrepreneurship, or when you're an employee, or whether you're at school, or whether you're doing a triathlon, whatever, there's gonna be ups and downs, and it's all your perspective. Just realize that, it's all your perspective. You could be sitting and meditating in a closed, quiet room. There's absolutely nothing going on around you. And you set the timer for 30 minutes and you just sit and close your eyes and just be for 30 minutes. You will experience so many ups and downs. Well, maybe not, but most of you will. Some people have gotten to the point now where they have the skill to just occur along really nicely, either neutral or positive, but they never really dip into the negative. But oftentimes, even for myself, I'll dip into these spots temporarily, thinking, oh my god, I can't do this anymore, how much longer? Holy crap, this person said this to me, or holy crap, I shouldn't have done that, I regret that, or like just little stupid things that when you bounce out of them, you realize how silly and insignificant they were, and how much better it is to be in the positive. So again, there's nothing going on around you, it's all in your head, and you're experiencing these massive ups and downs. But you would not be able to experience the joys of the ups if it were not for the downs. And it's not to say that the downs need to be super shitty in order for you to feel super awesome, super high. But just like a roller coaster, man, in order to experience the joy of the whoa, you've got to have that down. And in order to experience the epicness of the height, and in order to experience, you know, success, is what people call it, being so successful, so either financially rich or having a lot of fame, or having a lot of freedom, whatever it is, whatever success means to you, whether it's financial, fame, or freedom. There's many different types of success, or just happiness, whatever. You have to have awareness about having no fame, being completely unpopular, or being completely poor, having experienced poverty, or being aware of poverty, or experience having no freedom, being you know, behind bars, or you know, being totally unhappy and unfulfilled. So if you've experienced those things, or at least you're aware of those things, then you're also gonna be able to experience the opposites. So like I said, they're always opposites. So no matter what you're experiencing right now, great. Just know that there is an opposite. So if what you're experiencing right now is really shitty in life, and you don't like it, you're at school, or you're at a job you don't like, or you're with your parents, you don't like them, or you're in a relationship you don't like, that's great, because you're aware that you don't like it. When you know what you don't want, you automatically and instantly do know what you do want. It's just a matter of becoming aware of that. Once you become aware of that, you can focus on that, and you get what you focus on. So if you're in cold Canada and you hate it, you're like, oh, I'm so cold, I hate it, the fruit sucks, the weather is not good, and everything's too expensive, and I don't have any like-minded raw vegan friends, blah 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 blah. Look what you're focusing on. You're able to talk so freely and passionately about what you don't want. So of course you're getting more of that. So the second you stop and think, okay, hold on, I know I don't want to have a life where I don't have a lot of like-minded friends, therefore I'm going to focus on having a bunch of like-minded friends. And you just keep talking about life as if how great it's going to be when you have a bunch of like-minded friends. Or you know you don't like when it's really cold out, so instead focus on how awesome it would be to be in a really warm, hot environment like Thailand or Hawaii, wherever, and just visualize and fantasize about living in a hot climate. You know how you don't like being trapped by your parents' dogma or your school's dogma or whatever. So just visualize and embody the feeling of freedom. What does that feel like to you? Just start feeling like that now. Rather than being so passionate about what you don't want, be passionate about what you do want. You're gonna get that. I promise you, man, I promise you. That's how I turned it around for myself. I wrote down everything I didn't like, blah blah blah, like this certain family member does this to me, or this part of the planet does this to me, or this food does this to me. And instead I'm just like, I want to live in the tropics 365 days a year. I want to make all my money online. I want to be eating the highest quality fruit. I want to be surrounded by like-minded friends. I want to be doing swim, bike, and run all day long, every day. I want to be contributing greatly to society. I want to feel deeply fulfilled at the end of the day. I want to have lots of kids. I absolutely love kids. It's something I really want. I want to be surrounded by plants and nature, and I want to have really clean air. So you focus on all these things. You know, you get really passionate about these things. People dedicate their whole life to writing books about these things that I'm passionate about wanting. And at the time, I didn't have any of these things. So I could have continuously focused on how shitty Canada was, or Canada's really not that shitty, it's just how you perceive it, like I said. But I could have kept focusing on things I didn't want, like most people do. They send me these big emails, these big messages, telling me all these things they don't want, telling me all these things they don't like about themselves, or all these things they don't like about their friends, or their family, their relationship, or their school, or their job, or their location. And I'm just like, you haven't told me a single thing what you do want. So all I reply back with is, what do you want? And it maybe takes them a week or so to get back to me. Like, did you read what I wrote you? And I'm like, yeah. And I have a question for you now. What do you want? When you know what you want, you can start doing what you want. And you'll start to live a different kind of life when you start doing what you want. I promise you that. Peace out, fruit living from Phuket, Thailand. Adios. Love you lots. Hot day here.
Fruitarian, living lifestyle. Learn about the benefits and start now. Eating from the vine and feeling divine. Fruit living with nature's design.